Back at it with the Mercedes. So the other night we put in a new head unit. Didn't film because it was night and you wouldn't see anything anyways. But a nice Android head unit in here. We're gonna have to take it back out anyways, so we can show you that whole process. It's not too bad because the dash cams finally showed. The reverse cameras finally showed up. I got two different options for it. We got to get that run. So running the cables in this car is going to be a mess. I've already figured that out, but it shouldn't be too terrible. It's just going to be a lot of interior to take apart. So what's going to have to happen is all of this trim needs to come up under the carpet to the center console behind the stereo, obviously through the back. Now getting through the back seat is the challenge. In the back here, it's going to have to run under the liner through this, and then I'm going to have to disassemble this whole half of the trunk to figure out how I can get through the back seat. These seats don't flip down, so I really don't want to have to unbolt the whole seat. I'm hoping I can fish them through somewhere over here near this bolster. I can fish them through, get them down into the kick panel. Yeah, so let's see what we have for cameras. We'll figure out which one we want to use a little bit later. The cabling's the same for both of them, so I can run the cable and then I can kind of test out both cameras. The two cameras we have are a license plate mounted one and a reverse light mounted one. Now I've had one of each of these on the Volvos, so this is what's on the C30. Something similar to this is what's on the wagon. They both have their goods and bads. These ones are cool because you don't have to drill anything, which I like. These ones you got to drill a hole, but at least they come with a little plug so you can grommet it or put some sort of strain relief on it. On the C30 I didn't care because the license plate mounts to the bumper, so didn't mind drilling a little hole in the plastic bumper behind the license plate. It was fine. But on the wagon, the license plate mounted on the hatch. I didn't really want to drill a hole in the metal hatch on that car, so one of these made better sense. Yeah, on the Mercedes I can kind of go both ways because this trim dish for the license plate is plastic. It pops out. I could drill behind the plate. It's not going to be the end of the world. Or I could go up where the lights are. Yeah, we'll kind of play with that. We'll see which one's better. I know that with these license plate ones, at least the one on the wagon, the angle is pretty terrible. Once you get it mounted up in there with the license plate, it's pointed down and you really don't see a lot. Where this is adjustable and I can kind of set it wherever I want. So like the one in the C30, because the rear bumper is pretty much nothing. I mean, we can look at it here. You can see that there's pretty much nothing past the camera for the rear bumper there. So that made more sense to have that sitting like it is. And it gives you a really good view, actually. You get a nice wide view right out the back. The wagon, as I mentioned, you see the camera up in here. And yeah, it's a fixed angle. It can't be changed. And it works for things like backing into the garage here where there's stuff close. But in a parking lot, backing out, watching out for people, it really cuts off probably about maybe 4 or 5 feet back just because of the angle. So we'll see which one we like more. I'm leaning towards the license plate light one just because it's cleaner and no drilling. And the Mercedes has good rear visibility. It's a sedan. You can see out of it just fine. So I don't think it'll be an issue. And so yeah. So we'll start popping all these clips off. The nice thing about it is all of these clips here are really easy to get off. Mercedes made that really nice. I've already had this apart once because when I got the car, this was missing some clips. and was kind of wobbly and shaky, so we put some new clips in it. Yeah. Get some music going and we'll get started. Now we can see if we can fish our wire, hopefully through here somewhere, back behind the bolster on the passenger side. Otherwise we're taking the seat out, which I really don't want to do. So I'll finish getting this trim off of here. That'll be their path for our wires, so come down the hinge, back and into the seat. Oh, beautiful. That was so easy. So good. Up here, where the bolster meets the C-pillar and the rear deck, there's a hole. Shoved it in there, zero resistance, went right down. Pulled out this piece of foam here, and you can see it was just dangling right there. That was way easier than I thought it was going to be. So, just got to get the trunk lid apart, which I've done this before. The biggest pain in the ass for this is there's a little clippy doodah right here that's molded into this. That is some super rigid plastic. This piece, you're going to feel like you want to break it when it comes off. And also the pull handles under here are very, very tough to get out. So hopefully we can get those out without too much headache this time, now that I've done it once. And we'll keep on rocking. Got some lunch, did some work while they were waiting, let the camera charge up. So we got tails here, composite video, 12 volts, got it all loomed, zip tied in. Kind of a bummer I only had green zip ties, but zip tied in with the factory harness all the way through here. That should be great. And then it splits off under here. This is the composite line that goes to the front. We'll run later. Here's our 12 volt and our ground. We're going to have to split off. So the cool thing is there is factory ground right here. So we'll go to that. And then for 12 volt, I don't need the camera to be on all the time. I need it to turn on only when I need it. So this is the backing plate for the taillight. I'm going to use a meter and figure out which one of these wires is reverse. The internet says it's the gray and blue. I just want to confirm that. And then we'll wire it into that. So the only time the camera is actually going to turn on is when the car is in reverse. And that just means it's not going to be on aimlessly for no reason. So we'll get these split off, we'll meter that out, and that should be the end of the trunk, which would be pretty awesome. Alright, trunk's done. Done. So, sun's getting kind of brutal here. And we got to do the interior. The other thing I might do is I might turn the car around, try and stay out of the sun while I'm doing that. So I'll be right back. Alright, got the car turned around. Let's see if we can figure out how to get this interior apart without breaking anything. Those up. Let's grab our pry things. Get the ever needed screwdriver. I love how clean the interior is in this thing. Alright, so this. Go. I broke something. Ooh, go fish. Yeah, go fish. Yeah, I broke something. Crap. You can see there was another clip glued right there. That is now right here. So there's already tons of videos on the interwebs about this, but here's what you need. T20, flathead. Phillips would be nice for some things. Definitely need a big flathead and then an interior tool. So we'll get this all taken apart. Yeah. Alright. I'm going to leave that for now, and then we'll get this cable run up in here. So I need to be extra careful here because the microphone cable for this head unit was like just barely long enough. So I need to wiggle this out of here and then pop that cable before I pull the whole thing out. There we go. Yeah, there it is. There's just nothing to it. There you go. Have to remember to plug that in. We'll let this hang for a second. Now we do need to get this. There it is. So, in theory, and hey, oh, look at that. We got a reverse camera. Beautiful. Beautiful. All right. Let's get this little guy back in there as we plug him in. Let's see, second plug over. Alright. Awesome. Now we just got to put it all back together. Alright, that's all done. Put these sides back together. Let's move back to the trunk. Well then. That changes some stuff. So this is not going to work because I can't get this socket out. I didn't even see how it does come out. You know what? I think I do actually. But even if I get it out, there's nowhere to put the wire through. On the other cars, these were open backed, and they could just shove the wire up through them. These, I don't even think I can make a hole that's big enough for all of that. I mean, that's huge. So, all right, we're drilling a hole. I think what I'll do is we'll put a hole right here. Actually, those look like they're where the license plate screws go. 1, 2, 3, 4. So Can't use this hole because that's what holds this thing on with the only real fastener that it has. So we can go here. Yeah, I think that's our best bet. We'll go right here. Alright, other camera died. We're on the backup camera. So we're going to use this one. Put a couple little grommets on there. Hopefully those are usable. If not, I'll nip them off. We got a 1/4 inch drill bit, which is, this is 0.22 something, so close enough. As close as it's going to get. Center punch. And we're going to go drill some holes in my car. Not too happy about that, but it is what it is. At least it's all hidden. A little warm here. Put the trunk back together. Let's give it its first test. We'll turn the car back around so we can start putting the trunk back together. Alright. Didn't film putting it all back together, but we got the trunk back together. All the pop pins in. Somehow I had 3 left over. No idea where from, but everything fit. Cable's tucked. Everything looks good in here. Everything on the inside. Probably a little dark to see, but this is all properly pressed in there, sitting right. Grab the keys and we'll see the camera work. So here's the finished result here. Looks good. Does get in the way of the handle if you want to open the trunk, because the handle's right there. But I got a button for that, so we'll be all right. Alrighty. Here we go. Start her up here. Yeah, head limit unit fits really well. Like I said earlier, it integrates really well. Shy of needed software update to get Pandora working. It works really well too. Typical, it's just Android 10. Pretty much all the apps work except for the one that I use for text messaging. It pairs my phone to the head unit so that my texts show up on the head unit. I'll do a little bit more research about that. It looks like it's aged out as far as Android goes, so might have a solution for that. But put a custom launcher on here so it looks like the rest of my stereos in the cars. So typical apps, home button. Steering wheel controls work great. Hit phone. It'll bring us up here. I haven't actually gotten to answer a call on it yet, but I'd imagine that would answer a call. The only downer is there's no track forward, track backwards, either on the wheel or on the unit, which is kind of a downer. So if I'm listening to Pandora or something and I want to change tracks, I got to pop over here and use the widget. So kind of annoying, but yeah, it is what it is. Yeah. So backup camera is already configured, so we can take it and put it in reverse. See, it'll flick over. It's really washed out, and I'm not sure what to do about that, but it works. It does its job. cool thing is, as soon as you start moving the wheel, there are tracking bars. And these aren't just passive, just bars laid over. They're actually tied into the wheel angle sensor in the car. So as we turn the wheel, you see the lines actually move, which is pretty cool for a 2007 car that never even came with a backup camera that I know of. So pretty awesome. See if I can find a hack or something that's going to let me just turn the contrast down on that. It's just a little not right video wise. Yeah, fire's on just fine. We can put it in neutral, it'll go away. We go right back to Android, back to reverse. There it is, and park. So pretty cool. Let's say this was a success. I might play with the angle of the camera a little bit more to get those lines to line up a little better. That's just a little difficult to do by myself, and I'm trusting the emergency brake to hold the car while it's in reverse, which isn't the greatest thing in the world, but very cool.